Hi everyone, welcome back to another month of Stretch the Sketch. And lucky you, if I have things right in my brain, you'll get 2 videos from me today. Um, and hopefully I can get some more voiceovers done today and get some more videos up for you guys. I do apologize, it's been a while, but I will talk about that in another video. So basically with this sketch, I showed it in the beginning. You can pause and take a look at it if you'd like, or check out the other videos. The links will be in the description box below. I'm sure everybody will be showing the sketch, but this sketch for me was pretty easy to turn into a double page because my example of it, I guess I would say, is I literally took the sketch, cut it in half, and stretched it. That's all you really have to do for this one if you want to make a double page. So basically taking that pattern paper and stretching it wider, the background pattern paper, and there is your double page layout. So I kind of just guessed on the measurements of both the right hand and left hand side of the page. On the left hand side of the page, I left a little bit less room because if you look at the sketch, there is a little bit less room on the left-hand side of the pattern paper, and on the right-hand side there is journaling, so there is a little bit more, a little bit more room. So I just kept that in mind. So you can, plus that is also visually interesting. But you can see there that the paper that is going to go on the right-hand side is just slightly smaller. I want to say maybe an inch smaller, maybe an inch and a half. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sorry, I'm not good at keeping the measurements. I don't really measure a lot with things like this. I just kind of guess. So it's not very easy for me to add the measurements to the the videos. And then I think I want to say this strip is about 3 inches, but it kind of doesn't look like it. It might be 2.5. Again, I apologize, but that's whatever. Let's move on, right? So I am going to ink my edges. This is actually the first time I'm inking my edges with this collection. I have done a couple layouts with this collection. I've done the video that is also going up today with this collection. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this collection, and I will say the other videos aren't up, but this is my first time getting new collections. Actually, my second time, I guess I would say. The first collection was the Cocoa Vanilla one, Happy Days, I think it was, and I used it right away. And same thing with this one. It's been kind of interesting. I don't know, I just felt inspired. I don't know if it's seeing layouts online and being inspired or just enjoying the collection. And so it's been a lot of fun. So you will see more of the Happy Days collection coming up in videos, just so you know. Now, if you look on the sketch, in very tiny, it's very light, but there is like some, I think theirs is more of like a honeycomb shape along the edges of the pattern paper or the main paper. So I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for that. And then I found this stencil, and not sure who it's by. If I can find out, I will add the description in the box below, but it's got like 3 different patterns. And this middle one really was kind of like a messy looking one. And so I decided to go ahead and use this one because you will see the pictures that I'm using here in a minute. It's just funny. I have to tell you, when this layout was done, I was so excited about the way this layout turned out. I am basically going to be, the title for this layout is If You Make a Cake at College. And I don't know if many of you have read, or if your kids liked those books when they were young, the If You Give a Mouse a Cookie or a Moose a Muffin ones. There's like a bunch of them, different ones, and my kids loved them. And I decided when I saw these pictures, I'm like, this would be hilarious to do. So the title of my page is going to be If You Make a Cake at College. And the journaling, I basically took the whole journaling, if you make a cake at college. Well, here, I'll read it to you really quick. It says, if you make a cake at college, you're going to need blue and red food coloring. If you have blue and red food coloring, you're going to make the cake blue. If you make the cake blue, you'll want to make the icing red. If you make the icing red, you'll add a little red to the cake as well. If you add a little red to the cake, they will think it is blood and no one will steal your cake. No one will steal your cake because you used cake candies to add your name on top. If you add your name on top, you'll also add the word Fortnite. If you add the word Fortnite, you'll put the rest of the cake candies all over. If you add the cake candies all over, then you'll add sprinkles that are blue. If the sprinkles are blue, it probably has to do with Breaking Bad. If it has to do with Breaking Bad, you're probably at college. If you're at college, you're going to want to make a cake. And if you make a cake at college, it's probably going to look like this. And I just have to tell you, it cracks me up. I asked my son a couple questions like, why did you make the cake blue and yada yada, but the only thing he really remembered was that, yeah, he literally added some, you can see in the picture that's on the screen now, he added some red food coloring. So if anybody took it out of the communal fridge or whatever the fridge, that they have in the college kitchens, that if they ate into it, they would think it was blood and not want to steal his cake, which I think is funny. Young kids late at night being dumb, right? I'm glad that he made a cake with his friends because this is just awesome. And I hope he enjoys it years from now. I actually think he actually enjoyed the layout quite a bit now. Um, my kids don't usually pay a whole lot of attention to my scrapbooks. If I share it with them, then they are like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. But um, most of the time I just get, yeah, whatever. But this one, I think it made all of them laugh. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the journaling as much as I did. I don't add in a whole lot of the title because it took me a little while. I basically pulled down alphabets, any alphabet letters, different colors. I was looking for reds, yellows. That word cake was part of the chipboard that came with this collection. College was from a thicker set. This is an older, I don't know who made this, but they're not really chipboard, but they're kind of like tougher, like I don't know what you want to say. I was going to say particle board, but that's not right either. So I just literally found letters that were all different colors. And it does not look as clear in the video, but I mean, I just wanted this page to be kind of fun and wonky, just like the pictures. So yeah, that is the cake they made at college. But I love it. And he had a lot of fun doing it. And I'm glad that he made a cake. We were able to go down and visit him for lunch. That's what he wanted. And so that night, that's when he made this cake. Now I'm going to add, so basically I took the sketch, like I said, I stretched it so you have that main pattern paper in the background. And then you have the stripe strips. So what I'm trying to kind of do now, what I was going to say, sorry, I'm getting a little thrown off there. It called for, I think the sketch called for one, maybe two photos. Yeah, two photos. So like a 4x6 and a 4x4 right below it. So I just added more 4x6 photos, so 3 total, and then a couple, but instead of doing 4x4, I did 3x3. I didn't really want to overlap them like they had it on the sketch. So, but the only thing is that I had two 3x3 and it just didn't line up like I wanted it to as far as the way the sketch makes it look. So I did add those candles and I like the way that that kind of fills in that area. And I'm having fun with the clusters. I'm going to build this nice fun cluster over here on the very left-hand side. And then I'm going to get a little thrown off, however, because it feels very empty under the very left-hand 4x6 photo. And so I was thinking about that. And I did think maybe I could add my journaling there, but I wanted to keep the journaling over by the title on the very right-hand side. And so luckily on one of their ephemera pieces, it said there was that birthday piece, and it's not exactly the right size as 3x3, but it's pretty darn close, and I love how that turned out. I mean, I feel like it's just kind of like another photo. If you had 6 photos, that would be perfect. You could even have 7 and add another small one where the candles were. This is just how many photos that I had. So, and then I'm just going to build that cluster. I do like the fork. There was one fork piece of ephemera, but there is pictures of the fork on the plate kind of showing you where he added the, luckily I got pictures at all, right? I was pretty excited to get the pictures. And then I'm just going to add a few things around. There is probably one thing that I would leave off if I had to do it again. And I'm going to add a little Make-A-Wish word phrase that's going to go above the very right hand 4x6 photo by the title. I would probably leave that off if I had to do the page again, but I glued it down and it is what it is at this point, and I don't hate it, so that's good. I am adding, again, foam adhesive underneath the top of the balloons. I like to do that. I am trying to add chipboard around. One thing I didn't have was well, I didn't really need one because in my opinion, it's a capital I for the word if, but I did have that blue star, and I felt like the blue star as kind of like the dot of the I over on in the title. I felt like it kind of brought your attention there to read the title, so I kind of liked that there. And now I'm just playing around, gluing stuff down. I am going to add some foam adhesive under a couple items. I added foam adhesive because there was chipboard. The word cake was chipboard, so I wanted to bring chipboard around the page to kind of have that same texture and, around the page as well. So the balloon and the cake here was chipboard, and then a couple of word phrases, and I really like that word birthday. It definitely filled in that spot that was needed. Um, and that little yellow speech bubble, I don't remember what it says. I can't see it on my screen. I probably, again, that's something else I might not have added, but I was just kind of going for a very fun, I mean, look at the cake. I wanted the page to look like the cake. And so I love how this layout turned out. I hope you guys like it just as well. And I would love to know if you know what those books are. My mom didn't remember those books at all, but I think they were more for my generation, kids' generation, than when I was young. But they were definitely a favorite of my sons, both of my kids. And so it was fun to do this journaling and this page like this. And then I'm going to take a moment, and I'm not going to show you me adding the journaling because it takes a while to type it up, and I do cut it into strips. But I do have those 2 stars, and I'm not going to glue them down on the very right hand side until I have the journaling down because I don't know where I want it to end and begin. And then that's about it as far as the page goes. Like I said, I absolutely love how this page turned out. Again, a couple more of those flags got used up. I actually been enjoying those little flags. I think I've almost used, I might have one left, and that's about it. But here are a couple close-ups, and I did add some more of the little confetti pieces, I don't know, sequins, whatever you want to call them. I added those around, and there is my title up close. And that is my page, you guys. Again, don't forget to check out the links below, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this layout, and I shall see you next time. And I gotta go so I can do some more voiceovers for you guys. All right, have a great day, everyone.